Speaking of a dark and closed room, that's apparently where they've been keeping Mark Henry. We haven't seen him in months, but they let him out. He actually got a chance to be on television and did an interview with Powerhouse Hobbs. What did you think of Hobbs's promo here, Brian? His verbal ability, his speaking ability, does he project well? Does he have a good vocabulary? Does he have a deep, serious, stentorian voice? How did you like this promo?
I don't remember the promo as much as I remember him responding to the guys that came out there to confront him, and I thought he sounded pretty natural in that.
You know why you didn't remember the rest of the promo? That's the only line he got. He never got a chance to say a word.
Well, there you go.
Mark Henry is there with Powerhouse Hobbs, and before he says a goddamn syllable, utters a fucking sentence, any word, anything, here comes QT Marshall and what do they call them? The factory now. Can't be a Nightmare Factory anymore. The namesake departed. But his goons come in. And QT, who is also a heel, and his guys are heels, QT puts Hobbs over, talks good about him, which is probably a sign that they didn't trust Hobbs to do it himself, which is probably a sign that they've been spending too much time on teaching these goddamn 150-pound wet noodles how to do cartwheels instead of teaching this goddamn money-drawing ball player how to talk. But they say they're going to take care of Starks because they're pissed off at Starks like Hobbs is. And that's when Hobbs says, don't let your problem become my problem, and walks off. Now, there was nothing the matter with that line in a vacuum on its own, except that's the first words we get to hear this fucking guy say when last week, or whatever it was, 2 weeks ago, when he attacked Ricky Starks from behind and turned on his longtime tag team partner, he didn't say a word. We're still waiting to find out why it happened. Last week, Taz told us he didn't know, so he just dissolving the whole team. Now they've got an opportunity for Hobbs to come out there and channel a little hacksaw Butch Reed, who thought so much of him, or just get himself over and talk about, now Starks talks about his time. His time had come. His time was overdue. What about my time? And if it comes between your time and my time, Ricky, you ain't going to make it. I'm going to thump you, whatever the fuck. And then have the guys come in. But as it was, all you saw was a line that was more sleepwalking than surly, not particularly delivered with any menace. And he walked out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 words. That's what I didn't like about Hobbs's promo, is that he didn't get to do one. But we get to hear Daniel Garcia talk every fuck. Has anybody, can we get Maury Povich? Who's doing them these days? Is Maury still around? Paternity test.
No, he just retired.
DNA.
He retired.
Okay, who can do the DNA on Tony Khan and Daniel Garcia?
Oh, you stop. Come on.
No, I'm convinced now that Tony Khan has found out. I don't know if he's had affairs in Tony in his past, or if he's had professional relationships, or if he's paid off any people for NDAs, but some way or another, Daniel Garcia is his illegitimate son. You know, Brian, at this point in the particular television program I was watching, that's when I said, you know, normally I would be so bored that I would just be dropping off to sleep now, but this show is so disturbing and so shocking and so rattling, I'm going to need something to sleep tonight. That's what I said to myself. Did you say the same thing to yourself?
I don't remember at what point in the show, but I'm pretty sure I said that several times to myself.
Because you were delirious, probably. You were delirious, and you knew that you were going to need something to calm yourself down and get yourself to sleep after the shocking things that you were seeing. And you don't want to go with narcotics, folks. You don't want to go with the drugs. You don't want to go with the pharmaceuticals. You want to be more natural. You want stuff that's naturally sleep promoting with premium ingredients, and it's triple lab tested to make sure they've got all the drugs and the pharmaceuticals and the chemicals and everything out of there. Well, I guess you can't get chemicals out of everything because everything is made out of chemicals. But this is only good chemicals, folks. I'm talking about our friends at Beam and their best-selling Dream Powder, the healthy hot cocoa that will give you a fabulous night's sleep. Because, Brian, and you know this, you know it as well as I do, you're a statistician. 98% of people surveyed fall asleep faster when taking Beam Dream. 99% of people experience better sleep quality. And 100% of the people could book better than Tony Khan while they're asleep. That's what Beam Dream Powder will do for you, folks. You don't want to have poor sleep. It causes weight gain and mood issues and poor mental health, lower productivity. You do not want to lower your productivity. You want to increase it. If you sleep less than 6 to 7 hours a night, you reduce your white blood cell count. And if you fuck up your white blood cell count, then you got to start all over again from scratch. And by the time you count 1,000 or so of those white blood cells and you mess up, you got to start from scratch, 1, 2, it's just time consuming. So keep track of your white blood cells with the Beam Dream Powder. All you got to do is just mix it up into the hot water or the milk. Milk gives it a little better body, and enjoy it before bedtime. Or any time for that matter, any time that you'd like to just drop off with very little notice and be unconscious for a significant amount of time, just take a gulp of this. Just don't be behind any heavy machinery, and try not to drink a cup of this before sexual activity, because that could hurt some people's feelings if you drop off right in the middle of it. Anyway, if you don't love it, also, this is another one of these suckers that are going to give you your money back. So it's on the honor system. You know, a lot of people are just throwing money away these days.
They're not suckers. They're confident in their product.
Well, but a lot of people are liars these days. So you can be confident your product, it is the greatest product in the world, but to come out and say that they're guaranteeing you if you don't like it, you're going to get your money back, well, that just opens people up to misrepresentation. And there's a bunch of people out there that will lie and try to have their Beam and their money back too, and that's just not fair. So for a lot of these crooked people, I say they shouldn't do this, but Beam is so nice. The Beam people are so nice and friendly, they're going to do this, even if you're lying. But just remember, what goes around comes around, and one of these days, Beam will come down on you. Folks, right now, for a limited time only, you can get $20 off when you go to Shop Beam, that's BEAM, shopbeam.com/JCE. Use the code JCE at checkout for $20 off of a delicious serving, multiple servings, as a matter of fact, of the Beam Dream Powder. It's cocoa, and you'll be cuckoo over it. Beam.
Well, you can't say that. That's another cereal's catchphrase.
This is not a cereal.
Well, that's true.
So I got no problem here.
All right,
You'll be cuckoo for the cocoa.
No, don't say that. Just to be safe.
This cocoa is not caca.
You could say you'll be cuckoo for the Beam. That's fine, but the other one's a little too close to home.
Well, then you'll be cuckoo for the Beam Dream cocoa, which is certainly not caca.
That's right. Certainly not.